It's time to elevate ourselves with the retro shooter and the new Kriss Cool Mod mini PC. It's absolutely beast that can actually play everything you want. Combining with the retro shooter is going to be the ultimate experience, so let's go. Yeah. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in today's video, I'm quite excited to check out this Kriss Cool Mod, let's say mini PC. Because I love light gun games and there are so many different ways to play. However, most of them will have limitations. And with the retro shooter, I don't really mind it, but I just would see to elevate it to the next level with the retro beast light gun situation. But what is going on with this mini PC? I just love the paint job of it, more like this old school army look. However, this mini PC utilizes a very powerful AMD Ryzen and an RTX card. And the combination of these two makes it possible to play every single game that is out there and emulate, and also being future proof. So this is just a very cool idea to build himself like a mini PC on an ITX. So in here we're finding the RTX card in here, and the way the construction of this thing is quite genius. You can see that actually at the other side we're finding the AMD CPU, and we can remove the panels if you want to, but there's nothing much to actually look at. And at the back we're finding all of the connections. However, this thing is absolutely cute, tiny, super comfortable to bring with you. So if you want to have like this portable plug and play situation, this is an absolutely great way to play. Still having the form factor that I love, these mini PCs, but having all of the power that we're going to be needing. And the particular thing is with the RTX 4060, and maybe there are some different versions out there, but when it comes to this mini PC, having the full size GPU gives you such an advantage compared with the ones that are inside mini PCs nowadays. They're based on mobile chips. I want to be clear, there are a couple of, let's say, different kits out there. Most of them will just have these two color light guns, or at least there's no other color I know of. So I'm going to be using the old sensor just for fun. The sensors are going to be complete with everything, the wires, and I just love these old ones. They're not that accurate like the new ones, but the new ones will have the same situation like Gun for IR with the sensors around the monitor. But this is just easy to do and to use for the review. Under here we're finding the pedals in my kit. This is not included, but I understand if you need to buy these things separately if you're going to be using it for certain games. I think Time Crisis is one of them you're going to be needing it for. The Firebase, this is the communication device with the retro shooter and the PC. So you're going to be needing this in your kit and all of the necessary parts in combination with, of course, a power supply, because this thing will need some juice. It's going to be the 5V. That's going to be straight from the PC, but also going to be needing the 12V, the power supply over here for giving this thing the power for the solenoid if you want to actually use that. And of course the cable for your region. Then all of the needed USB to USB-C cables, tiny screwdriver and the tiny bolts, because we're going to be needing to put these light guns together. Super easy to do. What you're only going to be doing, giving you a quick example. You're just going to be plugging this thing in. There is a connector in the inside. Just going to be putting those 4 screws in, and that's it. Super easy. My kit also utilizes the wide angle lens things. That can be convenient if you're going to be using a massive screen, but I'm not going to be using it because of the tiny screen. So let's put everything together and let's have some fun. But let's do a chit chat about the retro shooter light gun. How is the overall experience? So when it comes to, let's say, the feedback, they're working with, let's say, a mechanical feedback. I can still feel the spring inside of this thing. The overall feedback is kind of cool. And of course we're having the rapid fire. And this is a feature I love because it's very simple to use. And we can switch by pressing or holding the joystick. You can switch between rapid mode and just the normal. And that's kind of cool. I think when you're going to be looking into the games and just want to switch very quickly, you can actually do that if you want to. And navigating is quite easy when it comes to controlling the PC itself. The Retro Beast Light Gun Edition, this mini PC is a very cool, like tiny, powerful machine. However, when it comes to, let's say, the 2 TB drive that's on top over here, just for now, but you can just actually use it at the back in here, or you have this very cool, let's say, case that you can put it in. Just going to leave it as it is for now. It's, by the way, not the smartest move, simply because of the heat of the PC. But next up, we're having over here the light gun had been connected to the hub. That you're going to be needing the Firebase over here that connects with an USB cable and one for the power for the solenoids. And when it comes to the sensors over here, they're going to be on the top. And I just love these things. They're not the best solution, but the newer version is of course more accurate. But this is just a very fun and very easy way to play. So the setup is ready, so let's go. When navigating through the menu is quite easy by pressing the left or right of the joystick. And going into the menu, you're pressing the left button over here, and going back, you're pressing the right button. That's actually it, and navigating is quite easy. So first time you're going to be booting it up, or at least when you're powering on the PC, you're getting the Retro Beast light gun image by Kriss Cool Mod, who actually put everything together. And I can tell you, he spends countless hours setting this up, tweaking it, and that's making this video. Take note, even if you're going to be getting an image and you're seeing this video way later in the future, it's highly possible some things even have been tweaked. Yep, that's how it goes. Tweaking, that's what you do. And that's actually what you're getting with an image like this. So it does not take a lot of time to actually boot up the system, but let's do a quick overview. Using the joystick of the retro shooter is super convenient. So we're having all kinds of different subjects. Where this PC is dedicated to only having the light gun support, there is so much to actually look at. So to begin with, we're having over here the light guns. So let's showcase over here. We're having the Model 3, Sega Saturn, and there is actually so much stuff that I even knew that was out there. Having the Wii, Xbox, that is kind of interesting. We're having light gun for 1 player, 2 player, and 4 players. This is an option. Oh man, I really love to try out. I have 4 retro shooters of the light gun, so it will be cool to check that out. Light gun all game. And over here we have the Time Crisis with a pedal. And let's see, we're having the arcade gunner. So let's get into the menu. And in this menu we have more different kind of games. There's more of those, like say, very strange games actually. But there can be a hidden gem absolutely in here. So let's go to the main light gun games, having the familiar stuff. A lot of stuff that we've seen before with the retro shooter or other devices. And you have reviewed on the channels. But there are a lot of hidden gems in there. You can just plug and play with the retro shooter, no problem whatsoever. Also, we have the rapid fire with the retro shooter. So if you want to play rapid fire games, we also can do that. And let's see what we're having. We're going to go through the full list because there is too much in here. Android shooters, you know, that's another thing that I've never seen before. Android shooters, like what? Only like a couple of games. But what I do love about this menu, that everything has been put in different categories. In this case, having the autonomous wave. So let's see what we're having over here. Is there any new things going on? And we do see a lot of familiar titles that I've seen before. Dreamcast, Flash games, but even the Sega Genesis in here. Indie rail shooters, even MS-DOS. So let's just take a close look at the MS-DOS. There's not a lot of stuff in here, very 80 cop. Games I personally never seen before. And let's check out some Naomi maybe. Nah. Play in browser games. No idea what that means. So, okay, so we have some stuff that I've personally never seen before. So that's what I love about this image. That we have so much stuff. So PlayStation 1, only 1 player game. So you don't need to struggle finding out what game actually is for 1 or 2 players. So that is one of the things I personally really love about it. Let's go through PlayStation 2 and 3, Sega CD. And the list goes on and on and on. It's absolutely crazy. Teknoparrot, one of my favorite systems, had a lot of cool games. And in here we're finding a couple of games. I'm guessing you still need to have that online license, otherwise you cannot use them. I think Terminator was one of them. And there was one of those Jurassic Park games that we have like a license for. So that's something you need to take consideration when actually having this. Okay, so let's go all the way back to the main menu. So having over here MAME. So with MAME, we do have like a couple of other things in here. That's kind of interesting. So it's actually in shooting like image of a dedicated machine to that. We do have some other like random stuff. So that's kind of cool. The gun apps is a quite interesting option because with the gun app you can just actually go into the menu and okay, set stuff up if you have any problems whatsoever. You can see you having the aim track, set fusion, gun for IR. Hey, that's a familiar face. Retro Ralph is here. And then the retro shooter. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. So when you're looking at the software itself, it's very convenient made, and you can do a lot of stuff without going into Windows and craziness, of course. But if you're getting an image or a PC like I have over here, you have just like this plug and play almost solution, and that is kind of cool. If you want to exit the system, what you're needing to do is pressing the left button on the retro shooter. Here you can see the desktop mode. I think this is one of the ways you can shut down. You can see it's a mouse cursor, so it's kind of convenient. Shoot and shut down and shut down. That's it, and we're shutting down the PC itself. Point Blank, one of the games I love to play on, let's say, my older systems. Okay, so let's navigate. Okay, I was just having the right position of the light gun. But even I'm using the older version with the 2 sensors. It's quite accurate. Still have the crosshair, I don't really mind. But when it comes to the overall functionality, this works plug and play without any problem. And with the retro shooter, you can also use the rapid fire. If you want to use that, you need to hold the joystick over here. Of course, it will not be implemented in the game itself. It's purely for the recall, and that has to do when you're going to be getting into some different games that use a rapid fire. It's kind of funny that we have 2 core shares now. We're having the one from the emulator and the other one from the software. But this is so cool. This is so much more satisfying. Everything works because at the side button we can actually use a rocket thing. But I can tell you this thing makes a lot of noise. Oh, by the way, if you don't like the noise, what you can just actually do is let's pull out the power cable and just play like that. That's it. However, you can see the emulation of this is perfect, but we can just play those games on, let's say, lower devices. Let's get into some very cool stuff where we need to have like a powerful PC like this. A game that we have seen on different systems is the Sega Saturn platform with some very cool old school classics. However, this is another system that can be played on other devices. However, you need to have at least on PC, what I know of, because a lot of devices, think about the basic Pandora box thingies, don't run this at all. This runs without any problem. Let's see if we can, we can just recharge the games with just the press of a button. I'm guessing I can also use it outside of the screen. Yep, this is a lot of fun. What an old school game. There we go. So let's go into the Wii part with the Dolphin emulator. And this is one of those games I actually really love of the Wii. This is the Ghost Squad game, and you know, I didn't play it that much, but it's absolutely a lot of fun. Let's get into some gaming. You can also change if you want to have single shot or have burst with the joystick, so that's kind of cool. What I need to do is enabling the rapid fire now. Let's skip that part. Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh, that is really cool. Oh yeah. You know, and a combination with, let's say, the analog stick, you can just switch between, let's say, what kind of modes, and holding it for the rapid fire, that's kind of cool. Question remains, will it go back to the menu? Ah, there we go. And then we're going to be trying out some old school Time Crisis. And oh man, I've been playing this game so many times on PlayStation, my arcade went up. Ooh, almost. But it works perfectly. We also have the pedal version, so we can use the pedal, I'm guessing, with the retro shooter if you want to play it like it normally is in the arcade machine. But I'm just using the side button over here and it works perfectly. Emulation is no problem whatsoever. Another game is Time Crisis 3 that we need to try out. Moving on from the arcade, or at least the PlayStation, we actually skipped that part with the Time Crisis game and move on to the PlayStation 2 part. And this is where we're going to be needing a PC like this for, having more demanding emulators. But this is absolutely an awesome game. Okay, pause game over here. But you can actually see we're still having crosshair. It's kind of tiny. Okay, so let's put in the rapid fire. Let's activate. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. And in combination with the rapid fire of the retro shooter, is absolutely, that is just so much fun. Oh yeah. But if you want to do some PlayStation 3 emulation on this machine, that is no problem whatsoever. I did notice that with the CPU he's using, we do have like a little bit of a loading time with some of the games depending on the size. So I'm hoping in the future we're going to be having a faster AMD CPU, because that is going to be what we're going to be needing if you have like just fast loading time. But the emulation performance itself, it's just great. And oh man, oh, this newer Time Crisis game looks really good. You feel lucky, punk? Oh yeah. We can just reload at the right button over here. Confidential Mission is such a fun game, but we can actually play that on some lower power devices. So if you're just fine with playing these games, again, what I said before, you really don't need to have like a very powerful PC. However, you can use upscaling. That is one of the very cool perks you're having with a PC like this. So the games look so much better than on your, let's say, typical Pandora box or Pi device. We have this weird thing going on, and that has to do with the widescreen implementation of the emulator. For some parts, especially with the cutscenes, we're getting those weird things. But so far so good, everything runs without any problem. I must say that I really love this game, it's really fun. But also the Dreamcast is possible. We have the mame system and the Dreamcast, and we have like a lot of cool classic games. And at this point I don't know what kind of resolution it's running on, because it does look quite amazing. But I know with Dreamcast you can upscale with 4K resolution eternal. So this game is going to be looking absolutely amazing. Oh! Okay. But it's such a classic game. So this mini PC is not going to be cheap at all to buy. And if you don't want to spend that amount of money, you can also get yourself like the Retrobeat light gun kit, the hard drive, plug it into your own PC and just play the games that you want to. But take note, you're going to be needing a lot of power, particularly also GPU, if you want to play the latest games.